What's going on, everybody? I hope a lot of people have gotten a lot of rest and everything because CMA this year was wild. There was so many people, and we did. I can't even remember how many interviews we did. It was nuts, but we had a great time. I'm still yelling from it. I'm sorry, but it gets crazy. What we've got going on today is Miss Teri Daniels, and she is a songwriter. And I actually reached out to her because there was something about her that just interested me. And she was in Nashville and she was doing some stuff. And then we got to talking, and I'm like, dude, I got to get you on my show because you're going to love. We're going to get into a lot of that, but she's got some great music out there that she's wrote and everything else. And in the process of getting everything going, I was just like, dude, I love this. So everybody welcome Teri Daniels to the show, please. What's up, girl?
Hi. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, love every second of it because everything you're doing is it's something about that creative process, you know?
Well, I think I showed you, like I sent you a text because when we were talking about it prior to coming on, like I'm like, this is it. It's not very it's a little archaic. It's just like a pencil and some paper, and just kind of working through it and scratching through it, like doing it the old school way.
Well, I mean, and realistically, if you're going to write music and you're picking that way, the type of music that you like to create and all that other stuff, is you really got to go back to that old school way. I mean, it's just.
Well, I remember like when I first got serious about writing lyrics, I was literally, so hopefully someday this reaches Abby Lee. She was just such a phenomenal female vocalist back in the late 90s. And she, obviously you don't lose that. So she is in the music industry doing something, but we've lost touch over the years. But I mean, that girl, like I went with her all the way to American Idol, like to Hollywood, you know what I mean? And obviously at that level, nobody's bad at that point. So, and then I got pretty serious about writing lyrics. And at that time, I was pretty closely tied to the management team to a really, really famous country artist at that time. So, I was like writing lyrics and sending them to like different people. And it just became something that became like an outlet for me. I've written hundreds of songs over the years and just got really serious about doing something with it, because back then, you had to have like the vocalist there so that you could do the timing on the lyric and how it comes out and like how it sounds when it's sung and the cadence of it. We were talking about that, and so, and the tempo and working with the arrangement. And it was just so hard. And I was working on finishing my degree at that time. And that was my primary focus. So I just didn't have all the time, but I still had all the lyrics. Yeah. And so now, like obviously with technology the way it is, you don't necessarily need all those components because you can layer, a different sound over a different sound and create, all the things that you want to do digitally now. And I think I told you, because I laugh about this, I'm an analog girl living in a digital world. I just about had a heart attack with my son trying to tell me how to get this thing set up so I could even do this today. And he's like, Mom, he did. He was like, Mom, you have a PhD. This should not be hard. And I was just like, well, I mean, I'm sure nerves were coming into play, but
well, we was raised in a different generation.
Yeah. My kids are great. I grew up with them. They're the absolute joy of my life, and I'm a boy mom. So,
yeah,
and
the one thing they forget is we're older than Google.
Right.
Google and the internet and Yahoo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
was during when we were growing up.
Right. Or just beyond it. Just
Yeah.
beyond it. Yeah. And so when I was talking to you about like my music style and who motivated me, we were just literally talking about it, like um Stand by Your Man, like and
Mhm.
um gosh, Martina McBride is like probably one of my bigger ones where she like just embraced like the social issue but still stood in her femininity. And I feel like there's so like everybody's great. Like I was down in Nashville and I was just like, oh my God, it was so overwhelming. Like everybody's great. Everybody's great. But you
See,
know,
I think in some of today's music, the only hint of femininity that you actually get in some of the songs is I'm the woman and he treated me like crap and this is what's going on
yeah.
and I
I
kick
mean,
it.
I got a couple of those. There's a couple of those in there,
Yeah.
just based on my own experiences and experiences my friends go through. But honestly, like, the what country music for women started with Stand by Your Man. I just brought that up. And like
Yeah.
Pam Tillis and um I'm drawing a blank because I'm so nervous being on the show right now. But are the Mandrell sisters, like all of them, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Emmylou Harris, all
Oh
these
yeah.
women that were just like, I can, write a song and I can experience what I experience as a woman. Things aren't always great all the time, but I can still be a woman and I can still want the person and I can still love the person. You know what I mean? There was no like basically no shame in my game, back then to those women. And they created like all that country music and for women was like built on, but I
Mhm.
mean, but I understand, like, it's generationally, women are a lot more independent. They have a bigger voice now
Yeah.
than they did back then. And that also is empowering. And, there's a lot to be said about, like on the mental health side of things, making sure that you are like standing in your power and like
Yeah.
not accepting what is not acceptable to you, you know what I mean? So it's all relevant. It's all relevant. I just think that, the majority of my lyrics kind of plug into something that's not out there.
Yeah.
But trust me, I mean that the one that I think you're going to play first is definitely a done me wrong song. But I just feel like, and I've written a couple of books, and that's true. And so I'm just a writer at heart, and I can use words. I think I'm a little word ninja,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say. But
Well, I mean, that's the first thing that actually struck me about some of your music is the cadence of the songs, the verses in it. I mean, it was just like you're right on a lot of them because in today's country music, well, I mean, it doesn't really what music it is. It's I think they've gotten away from some of the cadences. It's more like how many songs can I fit into this one verse on a lyric?
how many words? Yeah. I mean, the catchy like Toby Keith and,
Yeah.
um, even Sam Smith, like all the like the the mid-era country music stars.
Mhm.
They're what? Yeah, you're right. We think like when I think back to the country I grew up on, there was like the catchphrase or and sometimes for me, like I have literally like built an entire song around one word,
Yeah.
unchanged. Or like it's just a like a phrase,
Mhm.
like the one I wrote for the local the local guy here in Montana, first one in, I mean, so I don't
And
know. It's just what, I just kind of get motivated by these random things,
yeah.
and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. And
Well,
I
that's something that has always fascinated me is just like how a verse can come from something you overheard somebody saying or doing this or doing that.
yeah.
And it just, there's that click.
Like I told you, triple threat. There's going to
Yeah.
be a song.
Yeah. Well, that
So,
works for me. I mean, it's just, it's crazy how all that goes because yeah, I've had artists sit here and in studio and sit and talk to me, and they're just like, I need something to write on because something
Yeah,
I said during the interview or something, you know, and I'm just
yeah.
like, okay.
And you're probably thinking, how in the world, where'd you get, how in the world are you? But I mean, I think when, it's just that creative space, I
Yeah.
ended up, as we talked, I ended up getting my degree in architectural and structural design. And it's the same way, you kind of, I don't know, it's just like I don't know, download or whatever. It's the same creative space. Like I've literally gone into a multi-million dollar project and built the entire thing around, I'm not even gonna joke here, a
Yeah.
plant, like something organic, and like the whole thing, like $2 million about around one concept.
Yeah.
And I mean, so same thing, like when I am like thinking about music or creating music, it's just like it just like all just comes together. It just all like weaves in like a tapestry. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
funny how my brain works, but
But a lot of people don't do that anymore. They don't build something out of like one thing and then create the Taj Mahal. You know, I mean, it's they
yeah,
go in and they're just like they're just drawing stuff and hope it looks good.
right. Well, I mean, the truth is that, you know, for me, I I have like a gift of like just seeing the potential in something, you know what I mean? And everybody has their own superpower and that seems to be mine. So that and like words,
Yeah,
I guess, and like just having it come together and like thinking about the melody as I'm like trying to work out the lyric and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's fun. Kind of gets me out of my head, some people I don't know. Some
yeah.
people
Well, I mean, it's
build cars or do, whatever, but it's a lot
well,
of fun for me.
I think a lot of it has got to do because I was talking to some buddies of mine, and I was just like, there's just something about it's like you know what you want to do and you know how to do it, but there's that drive that attracts you more to it,
Mhm.
and like being able to succeed at that and do all these things. Because when I was out of the music industry for a little bit, and after I built my house and done a lot of other stuff, instead of just going to work and coming home, I had to drive. I had to get back in the industry doing something.
Yeah. Well, I think the same thing for me. I mean, like writing has always been there for me. Writing has always been there for me.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, in different capacities, over time, I own businesses and like I have done public speaking, things like that. So writing has always been an elemental thing,
Yeah.
that anchors me. So this wasn't too far of a stretch, but the traction that it's gotten so quickly is a little bit overwhelming, but
Well,
also it makes me happy, of course,
well,
because
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
and we got to let everybody know that Jamie, the girl that usually
Oh,
does
yeah,
your lyrics for you,
yeah,
I mean your vocals for you,
yeah, she does the demos, yep.
she wasn't able to be here because she has a sick child at home.
Oh, yeah, she does, yep, and Jamie, like, well, I mean, she blows me away, like,
Right.
every time. I mean, not only does she light up a room with her, like, absolute incredible, like, just overwhelmingly friendly personality, I mean, she does, like, you can't leave a conversation with her and not just have a smile on your face. And
Awesome.
her daughter's exactly the same way. I love that little girl like, whew, like she was my own. But yeah, so she's being a mom today and a good one. But
Yeah.
man, her vocals and yeah, crazy. Like so
Mhm.
she'll be doing all the demos except for obviously the ones that are the male vocalists. But yeah, she's going to be doing that and hopefully I don't know. I was just hoping that she'd get on here and someone would be like, "Oh my gosh, sign that girl,"
Yeah.
So, no, she's amazing. She's an incredible vocalist. So
Well,
I'm gonna like try and get her snuck on here at some point.
oh yeah. Well,
Maybe
I
I'll
mean,
make a resurgence with her, but she's amazing. Yeah, for sure.
We'll get her on and pick on her a little bit.
Yeah, you should. She's so good, and she's got such a unique look. And like I said, like you're just gonna be like, oh my gosh, the energy this girl brings, it's just crazy, you know.
Yeah, and it's
Exciting.
what's wild though is even in songwriting, you know, the artist, they're having to depend so much on the social media stuff. There was Instagram. You got to be on Instagram. You got to Facebook and all this other stuff, and it's crazy. But you got to stay with it. You know, it's something that you can't just.
I mean, it is something that she does on the local level here professionally, and
Right.
so it's just you know, taking or getting the right opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know, her daughter is her world, so as it should be. And but I mean, she's just such an incredible talent. It's just undeniable, really.
Well, I mean, when you sent me some pictures of her and everything, I was just like, honestly, the first thing that popped in my head was the movie Coyote Ugly, where walking on the bar singing the songs to people.
Yeah, she's incredible. Like she is like, I mean, if I can plug it, I don't know. She's like the singing bartender Monday nights at the Red Door in Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's, I think that movie alone inspired a lot of people. And it's weird. Inspiration comes from so many different levels and so many.
Yeah. Agreed.
If some of these younger folk could keep their head out of a video game for more than 5 seconds, they could notice some of that.
You know, I mean, unfortunately, like I say, you know, I'm a definitely an analog girl living in a digital world, but I mean, you can't deny, you know, technology and things like that. So you just have to learn how to, you know, use that power for good.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, even me, like just struggling. You know, I told my son, I'm like, if I ever like make it to the big time, I'm just gonna have somebody do all this for me. He's like,
oh yeah.
Mom. He's like, Mom.
Tell him you'll hire him. He can do it.
You can do this. Yeah. I mean, no, my kids, trust me, they have my back, you know, for sure. But they're my biggest fans, of course. But
as they should be.
Yeah. And me theirs. And I just want to say happy Father's Day to everyone out there. I know this is falling on a day that is, you know, probably buggered up with a bunch of other things that people should be doing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, that's my big thing is, you know, I want to say happy Father's Day to all the great dads out there and there.
Oh yeah.
And I also want to say happy Father's Day to the moms.
Amen.
That have to take everything.
The single moms. Shout out to all the single moms. Yeah, I did that.
Exactly.
So,
you know, and it's
thank you for that. Yeah.
I think they just need to make it a happy Parents' Day.
Right. I mean, but yeah, I mean, there are actually really great dads out there that, you know, do what they should do. So they deserve that recognition for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got custody of mine when they were young. So.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
They have to put up with me.
I mean, you know, now that my kids are grown and like they have their own lives, you know, it's not really like drop the hammer time on Mother's Day. Like they literally, like Mother's Day for me was like getting like all the, like any little thing done around my house. Like it was like indentured servitude. And they're like, thank God we finally have our own families that we can be. So now they just send me like gift cards to the spa for massage or whatever. They're like, yep, we don't have to come plant all your flowers anymore, Mom. Although, you know, anytime I need anything, they're there, of course. But
that's awesome. I love that. But I don't know. I just sometimes I think that dads, I feel sorry for a lot of them, the gifts that they get, because it's like, you know, they found a cologne or something, or let's get Dad some new socks. Or
well,
I'm just like, Look, moms are getting flowers and dinner and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Dad got socks and cologne.
Well, we did like birth them.
Yeah.
There's that.
But if we didn't actually talk you into that bad mood that you were having that night,
Well,
you know.
there's that. Exactly. Oh, I mean, it can go a couple of different ways on that one, I guess.
Oh yeah, it could. I mean, it's I was actually watching a video earlier where a guy and his wife, they do videos all the time, and he was like, you need to call your dad and because I guarantee you, your mom was either cranky or had a headache or something going on, and he talked his way into there you are.
Yeah. I mean, takes
Yep.
two to tango for
Yep.
sure. Yeah.
Just to shut him up, and here you are.
I don't know if I can necessarily relate to that, but I
Yeah.
mean, everybody has a story.
Oh yeah, their stories abound. I mean, it's just, and that's the great part about life. I mean, there's so many different people out here with so many different stories, and
Oh
it's
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the good thing about music, you know what I mean? And whatever genre, whatever genre you connect to, you know, that's what it's about, you know what I mean? I mean, most of us like will connect to a lyric regardless of the genre
yeah,
because it hits,
mhm,
it hits. And sometimes it hits because you're in a bad mood and you want to be in a good mood.
yeah,
Sometimes, it reminds us of something that was important to us at one point in time, or sometimes, it's about just getting out the frustration or whatever it is. I mean,
yeah,
that's what makes a good lyric, is if you can actually connect to it because it creates, the ability for you to emote in some way. And
right,
yeah, so I mean, I'm just hoping that I can actually do that for people, and I'm a little, I can like bring out the done me wrong or, the longing for someone even though you can't, they're gone or, just the upbeat songs or, writing for guys, whatever it is, I mean,
yeah,
a good lyric is a good lyric. It doesn't matter who's I mean, it does the vocal, the artist does matter because they're gonna deliver that message in the best way, so it does take the right artist and the right lyric. We were talking about that. It's like,
yeah,
peanut butter's great, chocolate's amazing, but a Reese's peanut butter cup, I mean, there are no words, you know what I'm saying? Like, the combination, you just can't get better, right? So it's
right.
like
And well, I mean, here's the weird thing. I've been on this carnivore diet for 9 weeks. I think 9 weeks, and I've lost a whole lot of weight and everything, but a Reese's peanut butter cup every now and then takes care of the craving and everything else that you have for sweets and chocolate because our world is so inundated with there's sugar in every freaking thing.
I justify it for the protein. That's what I go with. I'm like, well, peanut butter has protein, so
Well, yeah. So
yeah, this is healthy.
I might have to do
It's a
that.
healthy alternative.
But the other craving that I get every now and then is a damn good chocolate chip cookie. And I can eat one or two and be good. Although I do have to say, during CMA Fest, when I was sitting going over, the bios and everything else of people that I was having the very next day, I literally wiped out a big bag of Chips Ahoy cookies.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking that I was eating, it was just, I was in the interview spot and everything else. And I'm trying to get all this done and go over everything to keep it in my head. And those cookies disappeared so quick that I didn't even know.
Yeah, just like Lay's.
Hmm.
Can't just have just one.
No, you just can't.
Hopefully, kinda like my music.
Can't
Have to
have just one.
have to listen to more than one, hopefully. I don't know, but
Yeah, but I'm one of those guys that you could have 100 songs, and I know you're releasing and you're doing some stuff and trying to get them out there and everything, but I'm that guy that I feel like every song needs to be heard because there's inspiration that people could get out of it. There's, you know, it could make themselves feel better. If there's a bad situation or something, it could turn
Yeah.
it into a better situation. There's just, I'm one of those guys that just feels like music and the lyrics and everything is just, it makes the world go round.
Well, to that point, I feel that too. I mean, like I said, a good lyric is going to connect. And the biggest thing it does is creates a collective and you're not alone. You know what I mean? You that's one of the most wonderful things about music is that it just brings people together in a way that nothing else really does. And so when you're hearing a lyric, especially one that's heartfelt, you know, most of us, I mean, there is no original thought, right? I mean,
Right.
we can all relate to a broken heart at some point. We can all relate to losing someone. We can all relate to having a great time and wanting to hang out with our friends. And we can all relate to all those things. And like I said, it's just a matter of how the lyric actually hits you. And you can
Yeah.
hear a song today and it's going to hit you different 2 weeks from now. It depends on like everything that you're going through. But that's the one thing that music does. It allows us to kind of pause, right? And it allows us to feel, especially, if the lyric is a good one. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I mean, I sing songs on the radio. I don't even know what I mean, like and then I stop to like listen to the words and I'm like, wow, because the beat is really catchy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you sing it and then you don't even realize what you're singing because the beat is really catchy. Or you don't even hear the beat so much because you're so connected to the lyric. And I mean, regardless of what side of the spectrum you're on, as far as that goes, I mean, it's important because people need to be able to just like
Yeah.
feel whatever they're feeling. Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what was weird because I went through a really bad breakup. And the thing that helped me the most was the band Creed.
Oh, I love Creed. Yeah.
And
Totally.
there were certain songs that they struck with me, and that is what helped me out so much with that. And then,
Well, the good thing
and
about a good song is that it can put to words what you can't, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, it can give you the words to feel a certain way.
right.
And that's why, like, some of these, like, songs that just take off, like, I mean, Carrie Underwood is just a powerhouse, and that's really what she does, even, like, Lady Gaga, like, all the women that are, like, so big in any genre, like, today, I mean, that's what they do, you know what I mean? You can feel a type of way, but not really know how to say what you wanna say, and then all of a sudden you hear the song and you're like, "Exactly."
Yeah.
And so yeah, totally, totally to your point. And music, I mean, yeah, music is
Right.
just so important that way.
Well, I mean, that was the big thing with me back in the day before all this digital stuff. And I know you remember this. We would, as a lot of guys back in the day, we thought what was romantic was we would sit and listen to radio stations with the cassette deck right there, just waiting to hit record.
I do.
And
I
we
do.
would- and we would make this like mixtape of all these freaking songs, and then the next thing you know, we're giving it to that girlfriend, and
Oh man, yes, totally. Yeah, I remember that. I remember those days.
I
And
mean,
yeah, there's a lot of time spent like just listening. It's different now, I mean, now you can just download, upload, do
yeah,
whatever. Everything is just so like in your hands these days.
yeah.
And I mean that's good and it's bad at the same time, but yeah.
So I'm one of those guys that I think that this new generation is so, I gotta have it. It's got to be in my hand. I got to see it. I got to do this.
Mhm.
I call it the 20-second generation because they will click on a video or they'll look at something for 20 seconds and then they're on to something else. And I'm just like, dude, take some time, relax a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you may not get it in that first 20 seconds, but 45 seconds, it might be actually what really gets you going.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that, but they just don't know like any other way. This is just kind of, that's why I
Well,
said obviously the benefit to, the way things were done back in the day and
mhm.
like preserving kind of the way things were done. I mean, all that only happens now in the stories we tell,
Yeah.
right? So,
Well, I remember back, what really helped me learn, and I call it patience because a lot of people don't even know what that word is. Um, learn that patience and everything was going fishing with my dad and my granddad and be like, you got to keep it quiet and sit there, and you've got a cane pole with a bobber and a hook with some bait on it, and you're just sitting there waiting, just patiently waiting. Nobody ever taught them that.
I think it really depends on where you grow up and obviously what your values are and
Mm,
like I mean there's obviously in bigger cities, you probably don't get those moments, but like I
yeah.
know like family values in Montana and where I grew up actually on the eastern shore of Maryland, there was a lot of that. I mean, talk about patience. Like we'd sit in
Oh,
a rowboat and like crab and, sometimes we'd use a crab pot and sometimes, you're tying a frozen chicken neck to the end of a string and dropping it down. And I just remember like, and you're like pulling up the string really slow and really
yeah.
slow, really slow. Yeah. I mean, I grew up doing all that stuff. And so, obviously as a single mom of boys, we spent a lot of time outside and I had the good fortune of, some really good male role models in my kids' lives that, you know,
Awesome.
taught them a bunch of stuff and like they're every single one of them avid outdoorsmen here. And yeah, I mean, looking back on it, like all the, and even just looking back on like how I grew through music, because I've literally been writing songs since the mid 90s, just looking at that and like reflecting on the person I was at the time when I wrote it, and then flash forward a few years or whatever, looking at the time that I wrote that, like I said,
Yeah.
I mean, that writing has been really my therapy. And again, I actually have written and are being published currently, like 2 books on trauma recovery. But as far as like lyrically, I mean, that's my diary. Like I've written songs for so long because it just became that outlet. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, same thing. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, I get it because you sent me all these songs and I was listening to them and everything else, and I was just like, me and you actually talked about poetry at one time,
mhm,
and
yeah.
then I was sitting there thinking, you published 2 books, why not just go ahead and publish a book with some poetry?
Well, I think poetically, I'm putting my energy into the lyrics, but
Yeah.
um, that's how it starts, though, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
when I mean, you saw that, like the picture of when I was like trying to pull that one song together, and that's what it is. It's basically that.
Yeah.
But just kind of hyper focused on one specific outcome. I mean, it just comes as it flows, I feel. And I'm not always like able to just sit down and like conjure it up. It's just whenever I feel motivated, I just write stuff down.
Yeah,
And
but see, when you sent me that picture and those papers everywhere and everything you were doing, I was just like, That's some
Hot mess.
that's some old school stuff. Nowadays, everybody's writing lyrics on their computer and
Yeah,
doing
no,
this
I
and
can't
doing
do
that.
that. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't know why. I can't do it. I have to, like, physically see it
Yeah,
so I can, like, you know, cross it out or, like, look at it a little differently. Like, I can arrange it better if I can see it.
right.
So and not that I can't do that, like, typing, but I don't know, just writing it out for me is my process.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
I want everybody to hear this song because I liked it from the minute I heard it, and it's "Happily Never Ever."
oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a done me wrong song.
Well, I mean, it really is a good song, and you can hear how you have applied a lot of things in this song because it's the cadence on it is almost perfect, and just
Well, thank you.
it brings back to me really that old school writing vibe that you have, and it's cool as all get out because, like you said, some of these songs you ain't heard this type of writing in a long daggum time, and I think it's time it needs to come back.
Yeah, I mean yeah, I appreciate you saying that. This one is like a more upbeat kind of newer, almost crossover kind of lyric, but yeah, it's a good one. I think it's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So everybody take a listen to Happily Never Ever. You ready, Caitlin? Caitlin? Get it pulled up. Yay.
You left your boots by the door, but still fresh and caked. Your lie sat at the table where my trust just broke and flaked. I heard all that you did from friends you thought would never share. You spun a tale so twisted, but I've got no time to care. So here's to happily never ever, baby, we're done. You thought you fooled an angel, your karma left undone. I'll burn the bridge you built on lies, watch it crumble to the ground. Happily never ever, where your secrets can be found. You used to say you loved me, now I'm not so sure. I looked at you with love so deep, so tender and so pure. No more whiskey, so forgiveness. No more second chance. I walked right out the door, no hesitation in my dance. So here's to happily never ever, baby, we're done. You thought you fooled an angel, your karma left undone. I'll burn the bridge you built on lies, watch it crumble to the ground. Happily never ever, where your secrets can be found. I'll raise a glass to the woman you thought you could betray. But I'm the storm you can't outrun, I'm the night that turns to day. I'll be the one that haunts your memory, the one you can't replace, the one you end up longing for, but gone without a trace. Happily ever, never, darling, that was your last mistake. So here's to happily never ever, baby, we're done. You thought you fooled an angel, your karma left undone. I'll burn the bridge you built on lies, watch it crumble to the ground. Happily never ever, where your secrets can be found. Where your secrets can be found.
But
I I wish we had like a different version of that we could have sent to you, but
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I mean, it's hard like when you're playing it off the phone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but
Like if I could have sent a different file, but
it's that new technology. Anyway,
yeah.
but it's got that woman empowerment. It's got, I mean, honestly, have you ever heard a song that you wanted to get up and dance to, but you knew you had like 3 cameras and people watching you?
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a banger. I like that.
Yeah.
I liked how that arrangement worked out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's a really good song. I mean,
Yeah. And yeah, there's a yeah, well, obviously I like them all. I wrote them, but you know, you know, when I come up with a lyric, I get about halfway through it, and I imagine like the artist I would like to sing it. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And I literally at the top of every single lyric I write, I have the names of people I think would be absolutely phenomenal singing it.
Mm,
So and that's not even a joke. I really do that. So,
yeah.
um, yeah.
Yeah. And it's because honestly, when I was listening to it, I was like, man, I could see, you know, Carrie Underwood singing this or God, there's so many I could see singing this.
Yeah, and you know, when I was in Nashville, I actually connected with a guy from Universal Music Company,
Yeah.
and I think I told you a little bit about that. And so
Mhm.
he had a couple of ideas for, and then that got back into the whole thing we were talking about, like how teams of writers will sit and write for
Yeah.
an artist these days, and I'm like, well, you know, I can see the value in that, especially if there's like an artist that is like up and coming and you really don't know like who, like when I sit down and I start thinking about it, it just kind of comes, you know what I mean? And then it's
Yeah.
not always perfect. Like you saw like all the scratches and the, like
Oh yeah.
write overs and the, because when I'm thinking about how the melody is going to work or the arrangement of it, maybe I have an extra word in there and then I have to like kind of change the phrase a little bit and try to still keep it true to my original thought on the lyric. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I definitely write those thinking, okay, when I think about like the melody and the arrangement, I'm like, okay, like I could totally see like Kelsey Ballerini singing this or like Ella
Yeah.
Langley, you know what I mean? So in my mind, I like already like envision like who could be singing it.
Right. And then, you know, as I was listening to them last night, I listened to all your songs that you sent me.
Mhm.
I listened to them like 3 times last night.
Did you?
Yeah, and then there were certain songs that were I could see like Becca Bowen doing some of them or Morgan Miles or just it was
Well,
just
I'm encouraged by that because I mean, hook me up, dude. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So, yeah.
um,
But I
and
mean, I also, like I said, we were talking into it. There's a softer side to the lyrics too that I write,
yeah.
and I might have a couple of big opportunities coming up that I can't really talk about right now. But yeah, I'm really excited about like all that is coming my way, outside of this. But yeah.
There was another thing I was thinking about because with how you write and everything else, and you're living in Montana.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly, the first thing that come to my head was Yellowstone.
Well, I happen to live in Yellowstone County.
That's why I was just, but when Yellowstone was big and everything else, I was just like, because I mean, we've had a couple of artists on that have actually wrote some songs and they were featured in Yellowstone and everything. And I was just like, man, I love the fact that I'm seeing a bigger emergence in a lot of different movies and stuff like that of songwriters and
Mhm.
the music itself, and it's getting out. I mean, hell, Yellowstone had Lainey Wilson on,
Oh, I know it. I know. And like,
and I was just blown away by that.
well, she was obviously like crazy successful even before that, but
Yeah,
I'm really happy for her success. She deserves every ounce of it.
and
And some
then she
talents
was like,
just,
she was acting in it also, and I was just like, "You go, girl."
well, I mean, you're a performer, right? So it's
Yeah.
not that big of a stretch. But yeah, I feel like, she's such a lady and just so, respectable and like in honestly, everything I've ever seen her do. Clearly
Yeah.
she's not a personal friend of mine. I don't know, but I can't even imagine, that like who she portrays herself to be, on stage and
Mhm.
everywhere. It's just like so just top notch, super
Oh
top
yeah,
notch. Yeah.
and I I just hope to see more of that. The more
Mhm.
the big names and everything, they're actually looking more at the smaller person and
I think the important thing that Lainey Wilson does is she brings life, not life, but she brings like awareness to the
yeah,
lifestyle of like ranchers, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And just like the the struggle in it, I mean, it's a lifestyle that most people cannot on even on a small scale even relate to. You know what I mean? And
yeah, because
it's a really hard life, but so important. Like ranchers, I mean, think about that, not that we're gonna go down that bandwagon, but all the food we eat, like all the
yeah,
things. I mean, it's such a hard life and it's so taken for granted, and songwriters like Lainey Wilson just bring like this whole level of I mean, she's really romanticized it, hasn't she? Like,
hmm,
it is one of the hardest lifestyles. I know personally, I know ranchers, and it
oh
is
yeah,
like one of the hardest, backbreaking, long-hour, unthanked for
hmm,
what I mean? Not that they're ungrateful, but people are not, there's just no level of awareness because we take for granted, going to the grocery store and just getting what we need in the moment,
oh
not
yeah,
thinking far enough, how it got there, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
yeah,
she's like romanticized it like in all of her lyrics and, not that she makes it sound like this super wonderful thing, but she's definitely like romanticized that whole lifestyle and I'm glad, that she's bringing awareness to it because people pay closer attention,
oh yeah.
not that we
Well,
want a ton of people infiltrating Montana, obviously, because we want to keep it wild, but
right.
um
Well, I mean,
talent. She's so huge, yeah.
there's been people in my life that they say that they're this and that and everything else, and it's like some people put on that big dog
Mhm.
look,
Yep.
but if you've ever been out there starting at 9 years old, driving the vehicle that's pulling the trailer that everybody's throwing the hay on, and
Hey,
it,
I mean, I grew up on the East Coast literally, so I and it was primarily agricultural,
mhm,
largely, yeah, still same, but, obviously over time people have
yeah,
gone there. Actually, I feel like I grew up in Mayberry, to be totally
yeah,
honest, you know, So, but we had a farm when I was little. I mean, I almost killed my dad's best friend, when we were throwing hay and like doing
mhm,
all that. So I'm not even kidding. I was like 9. I couldn't even see over the dashboard of the truck. And I'm like,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, not that I did that every day or not that that was primarily how I grew up, but yeah, I mean, we pigs and goats and chickens and I mean, I was doing that when I was really
yeah,
little. And like I said, not my whole life, but I got like a small taste of it. But there's people out there that are just like doing it, and this
yeah,
is like their generational family stuff. And
yeah,
there's like so much respect that needs to be shown, honestly. And there
yeah.
is, I mean, here there is, like in Montana, I mean, obviously because it's something that's, we see it every day. We're interacting with
Oh
these
yeah,
people every day, day in and day out. But like New York, all these other bigger places. I mean, you guys even have a level of it down in Tennessee. Like,
Oh yeah.
you guys have, yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm not foreign. It's not foreign to me, and I did it on a very small scale, but trust me, I understand the struggle is real.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mhm.
you ain't lived until you've climbed up in the top of that tobacco barn and you're hanging the tobacco up there.
Well, I've never done that, but
Yeah. I mean, it's just,
I have, yeah, I have.
it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of things that are life experiences. And I think everybody out there should experience as much as they actually can
Mhm.
because too many people breeze by on life.
We all are like, I mean, I'm not using the word victim in a negative way here, but we're all victim to our circumstance, and
Yeah.
so, I mean, the more obviously that we can do and learn about and grow, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? So, for sure.
You got to. I mean, there's so many life experiences out there. Just go and live them and be them and everything,
That's what I'm doing right now. Like I almost got super emotional because my son Jordan, like, I mean, I cried a little bit. I couldn't even get lashes on, honestly,
Yeah.
because he's like, Mom, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of nerve wracking. And, what am I thinking? Why am I doing this at this stage of my life? Which, I mean, I've done it for decades and decades, but never really kind of pursued it in the way that I'm doing now. And he's like, Mom, you're so good and I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, huh, my heart.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that sucked all the oxygen out of the room for me for a second. And then he's off playing basketball and doing his thing, but I just am like, oh, okay, well, here we go. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, sometimes in life,
I was like, I couldn't even get
yeah.
whatever. But
I mean, sometimes in life, you've got to prioritize different things. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And, as a single mom, we still have, and the most interesting thing about my kids, like, because I do a lot of different things, like lots of stuff. And they're just like, Mom, and I'm like, well, it's just like when you have your first child, for example, you think, oh my gosh, there's no way in the world I'm ever going to love another human being more than I love this one. And then the next one comes along, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I can see how that works.
oh
You know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. My heart is big as the freaking ocean, and probably just
Mhm.
so. I mean, all I have is love to give, right?
Oh yeah.
But it's the same way, like, when I have hung on to the things that I've done over the years, because, my life has shifted. We all do different things and learn about different things, but it's all about staying connected to what you love doing, and it happens to be a lot of different things, like, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I can do this, like, I have, like, look at the boys I have, I can subdivide my time equally and still love everything just as much, so
Yeah.
that's what I go with. That's my mantra.
Yep. And I find it very, very cool because, it's, I was out of the industry and this, that, and everything else. And life happened and raised kids and do all this other stuff. And then I got back in and the only thing I could think of is I want to be in a position where I can help as many artists as I can.
And that's so wonderful. That's such a good mission, and again, it's just like we're still who we are. We're still who
Mhm.
we were. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously when you have kids and they start growing up and then, they're off doing their own thing, they're understanding a little more, but not quite there yet.
Yeah.
The things that, so I'm like, I'm still the same person I was when I was 23 or
Yep.
before I had kids. That girl is still in there.
Oh yeah.
And, it's like, so now I'm like getting, and, obviously, I mean, we don't ever set out to, have the things that aren't so amazing that happen in
Oh
our
yeah.
life, but we overcome those things. And like you said, life happens and, then, we pivot, right? And
Oh yeah.
then, so, it's just like coming full circle, I feel like. So I've pivoted enough that it's come back around, and I'm really, really, really excited about all of it. So,
Oh yeah. It's I've always been that type of guy. Everybody says that you retire at 65 and you kind of just hang out at the house and do little projects or whatever. And I'm like,
I don't even know
no,
what that
let,
means. Like, I don't even know what that means.
you know, let,
I'm just like, I just want to be happy and keep doing the
Mhm.
stuff I love.
Yeah.
To me, if I can just keep doing that, I don't always see myself, too far away from working with small children, which I do currently, or like helping people with like the suicide mission. Like, there's a foundation here that is for suicide prevention and awareness, and a very close friend of mine, she's very closely connected to that, and it's called the Azure Foundation. And such an incredible nonprofit. And like, if I could give all my time to that, I would, just
Oh yeah.
because so important for so many reasons. But,
Oh yeah.
and so just loving, helping, and like, I mean, I swear to God, working with kids, that's the best of humanity right there. You want to change the world, work with kids,
Yeah.
they're nothing but absolute just joy. And so I tap into that almost daily. So I'm so lucky, I feel lucky. I've had a lot of tragedy, and on, both personally and professionally, but um yeah, sitting here talking to you right now in the seat I'm in, if I had to change anything that would change anything, then I wouldn't change a thing,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. But yeah,
Well, you know, from the ashes rises the phoenix.
right. Right. So, but yeah, writing is an amazing outlet for me, and I just hope it
Mhm.
helps. I hope people connect to it. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys have to do another one, but
well, I'm gonna do that. The last one you sent me,
oh, the one that I wrote for the guy, the local artist.
the first one in, because
Oh yeah, that's cute. That's a cute
that's
one.
one thing I really loved about your writing and everything, is because you're able to write not only female, but you're also able to write male lyrics too.
Well, I mean, writing, just
Yeah.
write, you know what I mean? Writing. I mean, there's no gender, nothing gender specific. I mean, there are, like the last one, like if it's directed to, obviously, but I mean, guys have broken hearts too, right? I mean, it's like, but it's not all about broken hearts. I mean, it's about
It,
having fun and getting over it and seeing yourself through to the other side, and just
oh,
having
yeah.
hope that, you know
It just, a lot of it is
it's a
crazy
cute one.
how.
It's a cute one. This was written for a younger artist. Fun. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a great song, I thought.
And I don't want to put his name out there, but he sounds like a country. I mean, his name alone has got country music artists written all over it. So
Right. And
hopefully,
hopefully, you
yeah,
know.
hopefully he'll launch into the ethers. He's, yeah, great guy.
All right, so we're going to play this last song of yours, and it's called First One In by Teri Daniels. And y'all get a lesson, and be sure y'all can do comments and stuff too.
Hopped in my truck, the sun setting low. Got 6 packs chilling in the cooler, about to blow. And a heart that's healing, getting her out of my mind. Tipping a hat to what we left behind. First one in, last one out. Diving in deep, going hard like a rebel kid. She lit me up like a kerosene sin. Good vibes rolling, and I'm the first one. Saw her smile from across the room, knew she was trouble, and I was the first one in. First one in, last one out. Diving in deep, going hard like a rebel kid. She lit me up like a kerosene sin. Good vibes rolling, and I'm the first one in. The jukebox hums in that roadside bar, neon glowing like a brand new scar. But tonight I ain't drinking to drown my blues, raising my glass to someone new. First one in, last one out, diving in deep, going hard like a rebel kid. She lit me up like a kerosene sin, good vibes rolling, and I'm the first one in. She's dancing barefoot in the July heat, fireflies sparkling around her bare feet. She caught my heart with a wild free grin, and I'm ready now to be the first one in. Her laugh cuts through like a fiddle sweet tune. We're wrapped up tight beneath the harvest moon. That old heartache's just a memory's ghost. This summer love's what I needed the most. First one in, last one out, diving in deep, going hard like a rebel kid. She lit me up like a kerosene sin, good vibes rolling, and I'm all in. First one in, last one out, diving in deep, going hard like a rebel kid. She lit me up like a kerosene sin, good vibes rolling, and I'm all in. The jukebox hums in that roadside bar, neon glowing like a brand new scar. But tonight I ain't drinking to drown my blues. Good vibes rolling, first line in. The jukebox hums in that roadside bar, neon glowing like a brand new scar. But tonight I ain't drinking to drown my blues, raising my glass to someone new. First one in, last one out, diving in deep, going hard like a rebel kid. She lit me up like a kerosene sin, good vibes rolling, and I'm all in. She's dancing barefoot in the July heat, fireflies sparkling around her bare feet. She caught my heart with a wild free grin, and I'm ready now to be the first one in. First one in. First one in. Her laugh cuts through like a fiddle sweet tune. We're wrapped up tight neath a harvest moon. That old heartache's just a memory's ghost. This summer love's what I needed the most.
Awesome. Yay.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun one to do for him.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you captured in the thing. That's a lot of guys' thing, you know, the first one in, you know.
Well, I mean, I know a thing or two about boys.
Well, yeah, after all yours.
Right. And they're all right at that age, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fun.
I think it's
You know,
cool.
I literally had someone ask me, honestly, the other day, and this is a shout out to like my boys. Maybe they'll watch this, maybe they won't. I'm sure they will. But you know, because I get these like big things that happen to me, and you know, we're sitting around at a holiday, and you know, one will be like, "Oh my gosh, does that mean you're this?" And then one of them will pipe up, and they'll be like, "No, she's just a mom." I'm like, "Okay, I'm just a mom," but to the point that you know they like I don't even know how I don't even I obviously my kids are just to me like so amazing. Somebody asked me, they're like, okay, well, you know, now that you know you're at this point in your life, you know, what are your goals? Like, what is it that you want to do now? Somebody literally asked me that, and I go, you know, I think if you know I didn't live another day, you know, I've already done like the thing I love the most, and that was just
Yeah.
being their mom. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I feel like you know, I've already done it. So everything else is just a bonus, you know, because
Icing on the cake, baby. Icing
yeah,
on the
everything
cake.
else is just a bonus 'cause I've already done it. I've already done the thing that, you know, I absolutely love and uh, wanted the most. And so I'm glad I just get to keep doing it, you know? So,
Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, you know, it's there's your song right there.
right. Yeah, so much, so many songs, so little time.
I
But
know it's crazy as I'll get out.
yeah, no, yeah, I guess, you know, I don't know. I mean, some people are like these crazy like artists, you know, and I know several that paint and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how do you do it?" You know,
Oh
because
yeah.
these massive paintings they do and they're like 2 inches away from the canvas, but when you
Mhm.
step back, it's just like this amazing masterful piece of art.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't even." So, you know, obviously that's a creative space I can't tap into, but
Well,
like
I
for
mean,
some reason
I've got a guy that we went to high school together and everything. And his name's Coley Carr. And he's like, well, you remember I was telling you I had a friend that was like a wordsmith, you know.
yeah, yeah, because we were talking about that, yeah.
Yeah. And he writes songs and he paints. I mean, literally, I bought a painting from him just because I thought it was so good. And
Oh, yeah.
it captured in the painting what I was feeling at that time. And
Oh, yeah.
the name of the picture is Dancing in the Rain.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know several artists that I mean, it's just I mean, I can't even it's breathtaking. So,
Yeah.
like, it's like when people ask me about my process and all I can do is, like, snap a picture and send it to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is it." It's not as pretty. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
as pretty, but it's still, like, tapping into that creative space
Yeah.
because even, like, the architectural design stuff that I do,
Well,
same
I
thing,
mean,
you know?
like you sent me the picture of the music laid out and everything else and how you was writing and all that. But do you notice slight differences in your whole writing process with each song?
Yeah, only because, like, the motivation for each song is just a little bit different, you know?
Right.
Like, I'm thinking about, obviously, like, what it is I'm trying to project, you know, in the song, you know, like, what's the message really, you
Right.
know?
And
And
we had Michael Cannon, Canyon, I think is his name. He says, love her songs. Amazing.
I know Michael. Thanks,
Ah,
Michael.
there you go.
Yeah. Oh,
Um, we got the comments on and everything else. So everybody gets to comment every now and then. I love it. But we're going to have to get off here, hon.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even though I'm sure me and you could probably talk for 4 hours each time. So,
I yeah. Anyway, I'm really excited and thank you so much. You know, I feel bad that Jamie couldn't be here, but she's definitely worthy enough to be here for sure. She
oh,
should.
you let me know when she's got her stuff
Okay.
took care of and baby took care
Yeah.
of and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
we'll try to get her on because I really want to get some more stuff on like some of her music and things. And
Yeah, she's such a huge talent, you know,
yeah,
and I'm hoping to line up a little bit of a different opportunity for her also here through another opportunity that I have that
yeah.
can't really talk about right at this moment, but very excited about.
Oh
So,
yeah. It'll be fun.
so
And
yeah,
I can't wait to see where the songwriting takes you.
me too. Me too. I'm pretty excited about all of it. I have some really good friends that are connected down in Nashville, like on this side of things, like the writing side of things. And
Yeah.
now I just need to get, people out there going, hey, let me use this song or whatever. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? I'm trying to.
Well, I tell you straight up, when you get back to Nashville, if you've got time and you want to come on the show and hang out here at the studio, you're more than welcome.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you so much. That's really generous. I appreciate that.
And then,
I'm sure we'll stay in touch. So,
oh yeah. So, You got my number. Holler at me, and we'll get it all took care of.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the invite. This has been really great.
I've enjoyed the heck out of it. So hopefully everybody else has enjoyed it too, because see, nobody can watch me when we get off air. So then I could play some songs again and then maybe dance to a couple of them, because I can't dance, but I got my own little groove.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. So let's hope everybody else thinks that way too.
I know, right? Tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, right now, I'm actually working on that. So right now, just honestly, just through Facebook, my Facebook page, Teri Daniels. I don't really have anything streamed. I'm working on that. Like I have this really great literal friend that's great with like marketing. I don't know if you want me to say his name or not, but so that'll be, you know, I don't know if I can send you the link to your show at another time, or I'm not sure how that all works, because this all really literally just blew up. You literally reached out to me within days of me being in Nashville.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the structure of that end of things, but hopefully that'll be, you know, forthcoming and easily.
Yeah, because when you get, like, if you get the .com and stuff like that set up, send it to me. I'll add it to the show.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Everybody will be able to reach out, because
I'm excited.
Until that time, they're just going to be hitting you up at Teri Daniels, the Facebook.
Okay. I mean, yeah. So no, I mean, I actually have to streamline this process a little bit more. It's just like the response to it has been pretty overwhelming. It's really exciting, and I just have to structure it all the right way. So that's what I'm working on doing.
Yeah. And then you'll start hearing don't forget us little people when you make it big.
Come on now. Come on now. No, I mean, most people that know me know I'm not that way. So
yeah, exactly. You know, and that's, a lot of people need to stay with where they was raised, you know, how they was raised, and you just, that's the type person you are, you know, just recognize that.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm like, to be totally honest, you know, when this opportunity came up, I'm like, okay, well, the song's already written, you know, there are demos already out there. You know, I was really just trying to push Jamie forward because she's so amazing, you know, so anytime I can help anyone is really, that's really where my heart's at. So although I love doing this. I mean, I want to do this. I'm doing it clearly.
Right.
You know, I just, like if I can help whoever I can along the way, much like what you're doing, then that's what I want to do. So,
and to me, that's exciting. It's, I love being able to see, you know, somebody that's been on my show that maybe starting out as an artist or whatever, and 2 years from now, they're like headlining concerts all over the world. I just think it's cool as all get out.
Yeah. No, I have no desire to be that girl, like in terms of like the vocal side of things. But I, you know, as far as like writing and being part of that success for a vocalist, 10 billion%, I want to be doing that, you know, because it takes that, you know, you have to have a good lyric, obviously, and a great vocalist. It's that whole Reese's peanut butter cup thing, you know. We talked about it, but
I'm gonna send you.
I'm gonna have to go get one when we get off the show. I'm like, huh.
Well, that's what I was sitting here thinking. I'm gonna send you a package of Reese's Butter Cups. So,
okay. All right.
Teri, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much.
This has been a lot of fun, and I hope,
for sure.
I hope some people heard your music and they want to inquire more.
Yeah, I know. And right now, as elusive as it is, you know, it can still happen, you know. But
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thanks.
Yep. And like I said, you're welcome back on the show anytime. And if you're in Nashville, just bored, holler. We'll have dinner or something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I've got some good friends that live down there. That wouldn't be a problem. That's a quick trip. Yep.
Awesome. Love it. Appreciate you being on. And bye, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right. So anyway, everybody, please go and check out Teri Daniels. It's just on Facebook right now, but she's working on the .com and several other things. And I don't think anybody will be disappointed because I've heard, we only played 2, but I've heard 7, and every daggone one of them was really, really good songs. So y'all go and check it out, and hopefully she'll have everything done here in the next month or so, and there'll be more stuff going around, and definitely one of those people we need to watch because I feel she's going to be doing great things. So anyway, remember, like, share, follow, subscribe. Please, if you want merch, go to my website. Up at the very top right corner, it says merch. Get you some merch. Pick out your color, pick out your size. Anything and everything everybody does helps out this show so much. And I want to thank each and every person that was at CMA Fest. My team that helped me, Caitlin and Julie, I felt like we did an amazing job, and I really appreciate all y'all that helped out. I loved meeting all the people, all the PR people that worked their butts off just as much. And it was just a really, really good time. And we're getting out of here. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I'm not singling out just fathers or mothers or anything else. It's just happy Father's Day to everybody. Love you. Mean it. Bye.